Hello! Welcome back to another Fangirlz Assemble. We're here with our host, Kristan, and the co-host, me, Maddie.
I see what you did there.
I was making it for last week.
I appreciate it.
And we know how to do shows, especially on the time we're supposed to do them, Sundays, 8 o'clock. Wow.
Even though it's maybe a few minutes late, because we were literally talking about the book we're going to talk about.
Oh my god. Yeah, because
we were like, we need to stop and do this on air.
I'm not going to read anything ahead of time. So I was reading it today, Oh Human Star, and I messaged Kristan like an hour and a half ago. And I was like, I just finished it. I'm crying. Because it was just perfect. Just perfect.
Yeah.
But before we talk about this, we got to talk about our sponsor.
Yes.
The wonderful, the incredible, the InStockTrades.com. The place to go for all your comic book needs, to be honest, as long as they have it in stock. Get your collect editions up to 50% off. Spend $50, you get free shipping, United States, and you get the best shipping.
Oh, the best.
Best quality. Your books are safe. It's amazing. They're my favorite, and I will tell people while I'm in other bookstores about them. I'll be like, hey, I see you want to buy books for like your person in your life or for you. I'm like, you should totally support this bookstore, sure. But what if InStockTrades.com though?
Because
what if you just did that?
If they were looking at, let's say, the Batgirl Returns omnibus on a shelf at some bookstore, they would be paying $100 cover price. But at IST, 42% off. Come on now.
I don't want to do the
single ladies. $100 for an Omni. Yeah. They're the best. They're the best. That is where I got mine, which I'm currently reading, which we'll talk about on our next show.
That's right. But today, Kristan, we're talking about what you recommended, Oh Human Star by Blue Delliquanti. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, Blue. My bad if it's not. So Chris is holding up the physical copy.
Yes.
But you can read this on ohhumanstar.com. Will they let me paste that in the chat? I don't know. Oh, they will. Okay.
Yeah, good.
You can go to ohhumanstar.com and read the whole thing. This is a webcomic. Started in, I think, 2012. Yes. And, oh my gosh. It started in 2012. Yes. It finished last year, August 27th, 2020. You can, I guess, can you get all the volumes yet or no?
Yes. So if you go to ohhumanstar.com, there is a web store there. You can get all 3 copies. Like it's just three total. And it is a full story, beginning, middle, and end. And I say that because some ends you're like, no. This one you're like, yeah. You're like, wait, yeah. So these are great, and these are really nice, like high quality trades. I'll say that.
I need them after reading this online, which was, I think, I read it on my phone. It's perfect. I'm like, I've got to own those editions because I need everyone I know to read this.
Yes,
everyone.
Yes. Let's see. I think it's. Let me grab a. Yeah, it's just like a regular trade size. It felt a little oversized, but I guess not. I think just because they are really nice quality. Like these pages are nice and thick. It's a good quality book. So it's worth your money if you want to do that. But you can read it first. See if you like it enough. The color work too. Let me just start there. Throughout this whole thing.
I love it. Yeah, because they do a really great job of like, they do something very similar that you're used to seeing, which is that like one color tone to everything, which is a style I really like. And so for the present, they stick to the blue tone primarily. And for the past, they stick to this like oranges tone.
This one here.
Which is great and very helpful to know what's happening and when.
I love how they did that. Because it really does. I mean, there's some books where you're just like, wait, are we flashing back? Like you don't know.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
This helped make it very clear, which was wonderful.
Yeah. And because they go back and forth a lot, but it's not in a way that it's jarring in any way. It's very easy to read. James, why does the person on the cover of Volume 2 look like Reed?
This guy? Yeah, I can see it.
This is reading Kristen's child from the future.
Yeah. Is it just the red hair and glasses? I get it.
Because man, Old Human Star, before we even talk about it completely, is a 10 out of 10. Like most webcomics, I mean, there's a lot of really wonderful webcomics, but typically a webcomic is usually, I feel like it's being produced by somebody who's like newer to comics, because if you can consistently put out a webcomic, that helps you get hired later into the industry,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, webcomics will get popular and get published elsewhere. We've seen that happen.
Yeah, and like these were kickstarted, and they were very successful.
Oh, and it was consistent throughout. Art style was consistent. Story was consistent. Oh my gosh, I'm still I'm like almost speechless. It's just so good.
When I say this is one of my favorite things I've read this year, I'm talking maybe my favorite thing I've read this year.
It's my favorite thing I've read this year. I think that's fine.
I think I can easily say that.
And you may catch us in December. We might be saying the same thing.
Yeah. And it's only April.
I know.
But I felt the exact same. I blew through this. And I believe you did too, because you just read it all.
Yeah. I was like, I'll go ahead and start reading it. And then once I started, I couldn't stop. I was like, this is amazing. And I just cried at the end, just full of tears. I was like, oh, God. In a good way. Yeah.
Ellie's asking you a question.
This story is not about a starving out of humans. It's actually a quote. Is it from Alan Turing?
I'm trying to remember.
In here. Let me look it up. Quote.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it now.
Oh, it's a quote by Carol Sapek. You will stand watch, O human star, burning without a flicker, perfect flame, bright and resourceful spirit. Each of you raise a great idea, O torch which passes from hand to hand, from age to age, world without end. So, throughout the book, between different chapters, there's quotes. There's like a Flaming Lips quote. There's a Turing quote. Sometimes it's related to robots, sometimes it's not. But I guess we can kind of dig into what this story is about. And we're not going to spoil there's a bigger thing towards the end. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
And we're going to do our best to keep our language in a way that does not spoil that. Because I think it's so profound and moving and impactful that I do not want to spoil that for you. But basically, this person, Sterling, I don't know their first name, but actually, here, let me bring up a picture. So Sterling, who is this older-looking, gentleman-looking person with the mustache, died, and is basically brought back as a synthetic human.
Which this is one of the first pages, and I do love that the blood was consistently red throughout. I love that. So it was like the only red you see. But yeah, that's not a spoiler because it's the first thing that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you see them kind of like keel over and like there's blood everywhere. And Sterling wakes up in this synthetic human body, like, okay, what? And then the first thing, they see is like these two like robots. They're like, hey, so you died. Like, what? Like, well, we did our best to give your synthetic human body. It should match everything that you know. You should have all your memories. So it should be comfortable. And like, okay, cool. And like, well, we'll bring you back to your old partner. Because before they died, they had this from what we know, this business partner that they worked in robotics with. So like Sterling is like one of the founders of like the like robotics here.
So we're in this world where like synthetic bodies and such are normal. It's, since Sterling passed, this technology has went up and up and up and got better and better and better. And he was kind of at the ground floor of it.
Yeah, and let me bring up this picture again. But then we have Brendan, who is the man in the red sweater, who basically has continued on Sterling's work. They work together, and since Sterling passed, continued Sterling's work. Just kind of like built up the brand recognition in the name and the inventions. And they meet, and Brendan is like, I didn't bring you back. Who the hell would use your face and come here? How fucking dare you? Mm-hmm. But then Sterling says something to Brendan that's like, oh, and it gets him like weak in the knees, basically. And And so they're reunited that way. And there's like a big mystery, like, okay, who brought me back then if it wasn't you? Because Brendan tried to copy his like brain waves and bring him back because he missed them, right?
Like immediately.
Yeah.
Like in the hospital.
Yeah. And was basically kind of like unsuccessful, quote unquote. And he created this fine lady in the middle. What's her name again?
You know, I was just trying to remember that.
Alice. Oh no!
Why can't I remember? Hold on, I'm looking at the back. No, it's not.
What have we done? Oh, okay. I got it. Oh, there's a cast thing on the website. Sulla Pinkston.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah. So he ended up creating her from Sterling's like brainwaves. Now the reason why, but we figure out really quickly that the reason why she's different. No, she's synthetic, but basically, it's been like Brendan's child almost. And he was trying to recreate Sterling, aka Alistair, to bring him back in his life, right? But it didn't work. Instead, he got Sulla. Now, as Sulla got older, quote unquote, she realized that she's like, no, this body's not right for me. I'm a girl. Like this isn't me though. So can you change that? And that comes up pretty quickly because like Brendan's talking to Sterling, right? It was like, I thought maybe that's how you are because that kind of things were with us and kind of how you were. And Sterling's like, no, like I'm not a girl. What are you talking about? And so that's kind of like how everything starts. And then most of the book is them kind of spending time together. It's Sterling learning about this robot version of themselves, right? It's this young girl robot versions of themselves. While also kind of like reconnecting with Brendan and kind of reliving his old trauma. So as we're kind of seeing them grow together, we're also getting the background between Brendan and Sterling, where they first started working together because like he was his apprentice, right? And them getting closer, but also that like still being kind of arm's length a little bit. I don't even know where to go. Like that's like the biggest gist I can give. I think there's gonna be a little bit of a like spoilers, but not really. I'm not gonna spoil the big things.
Yeah, which we were talking right before we came on. It was like, oh, there's so much that like I do want to dive into, but I also want people to read this and not be spoiled for that whole back half of the story because it's really important and very well done, but something that like you kind of want to go on that journey and not get it spoiled for you,
Oh yeah, like man, I feel like this is one of the best. This is from my standing. I can't speak if a trans person read this. They may feel differently, but from where I am, I feel like this is like the best and most unique trans representation I've seen in comic books. Personally, like I'm just really, I just there's something about it. There feels, even though it's a weird situation, right, with robots and synthetics, it feels so genuine. The discussion about it feels so real and genuine.
That's the thing. Like every single character in this, they go on their own journey with their own feelings and identities, and there's so much representation in here that it's like you said. I mean, this isn't my journey. I can't speak for that part of it, but from outside of it, it seems very well done and handled in a way that we just don't see in comics, I would even go as far to say, now that you read Thirsty Mermaids, I think that was also just very well done with the...
Let's compare the two real quick.
Okay.
Because in both of them, they kind of have conversations about dysphoria and passing. Now, what's unique about those in comparison to the usual trans narrative about transition and passing and everything else, right, is that it's not told in the typical way, which I like.
They're not even humans.
Yeah, so in the typical way,
features.
Trans stories, they really focus on transition. They really focus on passing in a very normal sense. Now, in Thirsty Mermaids, they talk about body dysphoria in a different way. It's like, no, it's like a metaphor almost. right? Because you have the mermaid who's like, I don't want to be in my human body. It doesn't feel real to me. I should be in the water. I want to show my body how I feel comfortable showing my body. I don't feel safe. This isn't me. And that's how you talk about body dysphoria, right? But you have a trans person compare her experiences to the mermaid. And so in this one, you have a different situation where instead of focusing on Stella being trans, right, they focus on the robot aspect. Because Stella wants to make friends. She's 15. She looks like a normal girl. She wants to make friends. So she sees some friends at like a bookstore or library or whatever, and she wants to hang out with them. Especially this like one person she meets, Titus. And like she's talking to Alistair, and Alistair's like, just do your best to pass. They're never gonna know you're a robot. It's fine. Like just and Alistair's very much like, just pass.
Yeah, don't reveal this part of yourself. Do not reveal this part of your identity.
Yeah.
Pretty much because like you don't know what they're going to do and you don't know how they're going to treat you. And eventually, I don't think that's a big spoiler. Of course, they find out she's a robot.
Yeah, she's got
they're all good.
Yeah, it's like not a big deal.
You're great. Like it's great.
And this is following a conversation too, where like he's like, man, like you. And this is a conversation trans people have a lot, right? But they're like, oh, I didn't even know you were synthetic. You passed so well as a human, which is like he's not talking about the trans part, he's talking about the robot part. But it's done so well, right? That it's like I appreciate it doesn't have to tie it directly to the genuine trans experience, because it's a story people hear all the time, and it almost makes it more palatable in a way that can be less like you can deal with these issues without having to relive all your trauma. Yeah, which I think superheroes do right well. There's a ton of times where superhero comics, like are like a metaphor for something else, right? Like X-Men, God loves, man kills, right? That is, X-Men are always like, you know, it's always alludes to like, you know, outside populations. But it's nice to be able to read it that way, because you don't have to, you know what they're saying, but you don't have to connect directly to the trauma and everything else that you probably would normally deal with if you're one of those people. So it's just like, okay, I can deal with these issues in a way that's easier for me. And same way this happens. So good. Yeah,
I'd be very curious what like trans readers feel about it, you know? Because like we're sitting here loving it, and hopefully that is the case that, you know, comes across to other people. But yeah, I mean it's like you said, it was told in just such a unique way that, you know, the robot thing's been done, right? We've had tons and tons of stories about what if robots had feelings and thoughts and such, and we're like humans, but they're not.
I love all those stories.
Oh yeah, it's been done, but this was just like they took a thing that's been done and they made it completely unique. And you care about every character, like even the side characters. There's
little robots.
Yes. Yeah, there's like actual little like robot looking robots who like are little helpers and stuff, and they still have their own like thing going on. And I can't think of the great side character, the woman who was born without. Yeah, so she was born without some of her like arms and legs, right? Maybe legs?
Yeah.
Like some of
her legs and then one arm.
Yeah. So she got into robotics too, and was like, she always hated when she was a kid. You know, you see the flashbacks of her life too. She hated the prosthetics. She's like, these aren't moving enough for me. They're not like good enough for me. I need to make something better, and I need to make something unique. And at one point she's like, I never had these things. Like, I don't need an arm to look like an arm. Let's make cool things, but make them prosthetics. And who, you know, who cares if it looks like a human? Like, I don't need to look like that. This is me, which was super cool. She made such unique, amazing things. And she was like the head of her own company too. There were just so many like strong characters.
Oh yeah. Well, she was awesome. And like, you know, they connected because she also worked on like skin grafting and stuff, like, so like making limbs that look like skin, which helped with like sentient beings or like robots and stuff. But yeah, she was great. And like the way she talked about how like developing prosthetics that grow with you, like for kids, so they don't have to keep buying new ones, which
just so expensive. And
yeah. And yeah, because eventually she'd always change on her stuff.
Yeah.
Like she had like a hook for a while, and they talked to her, like, why do you could have made just a regular like hand. Do you have to keep guys away from you? Because some of them were like kind of having like a talk not only about fetishization but kind of. And she's like, no, I just like why do a regular hand? This hook is fine, it's cool. Like,
and it's more useful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way more useful than a hand. I've got one hand. It's fine. So cool. So cool. And then you've got Titus, who Stella kind of like falls for. This cute person that she meets at the bookstore. And Titus isn't exactly like out to all of their friends. Even though like they've got such a cool, like diverse friends group.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really know like all of, how they like identify and stuff. But Titus feels really comfortable when they first meet Stella to be like, no, my name's Titus, but like don't just call me that in private.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because they genuinely like to me I call it it's kind of like the gaydar, like more like a queer dar,
Yeah.
When you meet other people, like they're gonna understand your experience. And of course Stella would understand. And it comes up later, like, Titus' friends are like, why didn't you tell us? You told this robot girl within like seconds of knowing her. And you also told this other actual robot. And Titus like, yeah, like they listened to me. I actually need people to listen. Like, that's it. I was like, oh, but it's not done like a mean way. It's just people understanding each other. It's just nice to have that. It's nice to have a book that's about pure experience without all the negativity.
Truly. And I love that moment too with it was like the helper robot, right?
Yeah.
Who's there to be kind of he's kind of a butler, and addresses everybody as like Mr. or Mrs. whatever.
Yeah, and then he calls Titus Mix Titus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, MX. I was like, oh god.
And Titus like whispered it to him, and it was great. It was just a great moment.
I'm gonna need like a whole podcast to like talking about the actual spoilers
about
this, because the journey of these characters, one character in particular, is so beautiful. And I think like, a lot of people are looking for stories that queer people, like trans characters that aren't the norm, or that follow somebody of a different age group, and like. It's hard to find that. And it's hard to find that in a way that deals with a lot of like love. Because a lot of times this happens and they deal with all of the negative parts of the experience.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great trans stories and they should be told, right? A lot of them, but unfortunately a lot of them either dealt with like a lot of the violence, or, they're in the AIDS crisis, right? Because it's historical.
Or getting kicked out of a parent's house or something,
Yeah. And, there's absolutely those should be there because those are real experiences that happen. But it's nice to see a story that doesn't have that. That you can still deal with the growth and you can dissect the situation and like without having to deal with that. It's beautiful.
Even with the struggles throughout this, which there are struggles.
But they're not those struggles.
No, and they all go through their own journeys, like I said, but you're never like you said, and you were crying. It was never like a horrific cry, right? It was never like, beautiful. Oh, this is so awful that like you're feeling the terrible things. No, it was never like that because even though you had the struggles, and of course every story does, the way it was just brought together at the end, I'll never get over it. It was so well done, and it was the perfect length. Can we just talk about that? There's so many web comics, so many comics that go on too long, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
This was just
they get lost somewhere because, understandably, like making a web comic, this is years in the making.
Oh yeah,
right. It's like you're coming up with a story or a post twice a week, once a week. It's easy to get lost in the overall like narrative. A lot of webcomics do, or they get kind of sidetracked to a side story that takes a little too long. But this didn't feel that way. I felt like I was just reading a normal book that like, it's just, ugh. And I'm glad I waited till it was done because I don't think I would be able to handle it myself.
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking, had I read this as it came out, I'd probably be losing my mind weekly.
Like 8 years.
Losing my mind.
Had to wait 8 years.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I can't imagine. And to think that this took 8 years and it was plotted so, dare I say, perfectly.
Oh my gosh, everyone should hire Blue.
Perfectly.
I don't know what they're doing now, but I will follow them forever.
Yeah, write all my favorite First, Second, and Boom books, because Blue, you got it. Like, this needs to happen.
Blue will do anything. Whatever you need, we are your forever fans.
We're buying all your stuff from now on.
And we're ride or die.
Yes.
Blue, I don't know if you're going to watch this. I'm going to tweet it out after this to be like, listen, I don't know if you're interested in watching people talk about your book, but I promise we only ever said really good things, and that we are going to recommend this to literally everyone forever. Like, forever.
Yeah.
This is going to go up there with like Upgrade Soul for different reasons.
Yes, it's Upgrade Soul. It's Kiss number 8. these are like our top 3 now.
Man was Cat, and now Oh Human Star.
Oh boy.
Elliot asked, "Is it Oda levels?" As in Oda who created One Piece. Honestly, yeah.
I'd say in a smaller sense, right?
Yeah, it's a much smaller sense.
But you're
consistency.
Right. To do an 8-year journey.
8 years.
Oh, I still, it blows my mind. And to be able to have just every journey and character arc just flow in the best way and end on such a high note. Just, yes, that ending.
Oh my god.
Nailed that ending.
It
really blew me away.
I'm going to cry about it again later, to be honest with you.
And you have to get these books, because there are, at the end of the last volume, you get to read, like, one of the stories, like a character, what's her face? I can't think of her name now.
I clicked off of that part of this. Oh, Lucille.
Yes. Why we keep forgetting all the names? We're bad at names.
Gabriel, yes.
Yes.
Gabriel says, I have a 12-year non-binary child. It seems like it'd be a great book for them. You think it's an okay book for their age? Yes. And if you ever need any recommendations at all for your kid age, you can message us, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Look up Fangirlz Assemble, whatever. Oh my god. We will take them under our wing. And a young queer child likes this stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
which we just said Kiss number 8. That's another great one that I think 100% recommend.
Absolutely. No question.
Can you bring up Farhan's comment?
Oh, where?
It's back a bit. Yeah, there you go. Hi, Maddie and Kristan. I hope you ladies are doing fine there. Haven't seen Kristan in a while on the Om Dog channel. Peace and love. Hey, thank you for being here. We're happy to see you. Jess had to cancel our last 2 shows, because he's going through some stuff. So that's okay. Apparently he's doing shows again now. We're going to have a next one, I think, not next weekend, but the weekend after. So look forward to that.
So, Jace, I do want to let you know that Blue uses they, them pronouns. So, just so you know. But yeah, I do. That is good. That they're making a book for Arch Graphic called Across the Field of Starlight. Yeah, I just followed on Twitter.
Yeah, I did that immediately. I was like, I have to know everything.
Their book, Meal. They made a romance comic.
I saw that because that's in the store, right? I almost bought it immediately. But I can't really do that right now because I don't have floors. But I will eventually.
I don't have the money right now, but I should get promotion paycheck next week, I guess. So Carly asked, how long is it? It is...
It's the size of 3 trades.
Yeah.
And they're decent sized. I don't know how many pages that ends up being.
According to the website, it's like 505 pages.
That seems about right.
It goes fast. I read this in an hour and a half. Now I know I read fast. But still.
Yeah, it took me longer, but it was a quick read. Yeah. And it's also one of those, it's just so engaging that the moment you start it, I think you're going to be like, I got to know what happens. I want to know what's going on. There's that mystery throughout it that we talked about at the beginning. Like, who? I know, I'm not spoiling it, but it kills me. Good.
I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the ending so bad. But I know. This is like, this is gonna be like an upgrade soul thing again, right? Where it's like, well, we can't.
Let's just do a spoiler video on my channel sometime, where we
That'd
just gush about it. I'm into that.
Hey, Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth. Because that mystery throughout it kept me being like, what is going on?
I was like, if Brendan
who
didn't
brought
bring
Sterling back?
Who is it? And the fact that they had to wait so long.
Oh my! Again, 8 years. I mean, I'm sad I didn't
Carly
to go on the journey, kind of, but like, I'm happy I got it now. Oh yeah, Carly.
Elliot. It has. Why do you think I asked you to buy my McDonald's today? I don't have money. But if you would like to buy me those 3 trades and also that meal book, I would really like that because I'm in love.
Elliot, I think Maddie needs these 3 trades for my birthday. Okay, so you have to.
Please. Oh, Kristan, did that stuff come in? Because it said it was going to arrive.
Okay, I got the book, and there's a package in the kitchen that I keep forgetting is in there, and I think that's the rest of it. So I'm sorry.
Is Reed home? Tell Reed to bring it.
I'll see if he.
I want you to open it.
Yeah, I need to look at it. I kept forgetting. I was like,
girl, you know I got that McDonald's money. I was really tired after my nap, and I was like, can you order me McDonald's? Can you give me, I just want a soda and fries, please. I'm very tired. Joe asked, did you order straight from Blue Delliquanti?
I actually saw Volume 3 as Kickstarter, and I got all of them through that.
Okay.
But they're all up on the website. So ohhumanstar.com, I believe the store is on there, and
that's
you can get them all.
That's probably the best way to support them.
Yeah, I would guess so, because all that money is going directly to them.
And Mary says, you're so generous with your birthday, Kristan. Of course she is.
Thank you, Mary.
And James Elliott may also want you to buy her that Star Wars Starcraft omnibus. I think maybe if a viewer is going to send me that book, I don't know. Like in my haul video, someone commented, and they were like, "Where can I send that book?" I was like, oh, "That's so sweet. You don't have to." But then I'm like, "Yes." I'm cute on the internet for no reason. How long do I have to be cute on the internet and hilarious? I'm sure I'm not hilarious. For someone to send me books.
You're hilarious.
I wore a low-cut shirt for what?
Now we all know
on this show, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But like, I didn't hear my video. I'm like, if I show some cleavage, will someone buy me some damn books?
Now we know what you're after. Them books.
Them books. I want thick.
Them books.
Yeah, this is my queer side of YouTube. So I'm just like, whatever.
This is the show where we're just like, who cares?
Well, I'm gonna dick it around. It's a Sunday. I have work tomorrow. That's stressful.
It is.
I can't like get my shit together.
Nobody got time for that.
No. I'm gonna like watch Mighty Ducks after this. Come on.
Oh, we gotta do that.
I'm dying for you to watch Mighty Ducks so we can cry about it.
I need to. I really do.
On their website is $25 per trade and or $30 for a version signed with the sketch. Cool. Oh, what a sketch.
Oh, that is exciting.
Hi, Blue. If you're watching this, can we commission you to do art for our channel? Because 1, I think you're real cool. And 2, I like your art and your books like a whole lot. Thank you.
That would be amazing. We just need a great background for this, really. Right?
Listen, I keep trying to make goofy ones, you guys, and the problem is I can't test out till both of our screens are here because I haven't worked on the dimensions. And so I think it's going to be good. And then I make this shit, and I'm like, no. Because here at Fangirlz, okay, we don't want to put an obnoxious background in there. Because no matter how much I tell other people that use StreamYard that their backgrounds are not diverse friendly, they're like, you just don't like color. Look at this. There's tons of color here. But your girl's got ADHD. You can't be using some crazy ass background.
Well, you know what else isn't good? When there's like 100 superheroes and you just see like their crotch because there's like 2 people on the show and their heads are cut off and there's like 1,000,000 pixels because I guess you got the standard definition lowest quality.
Sometimes there's like a
dimensions.
No. Like the copyright mark.
The watermark, yeah.
Oh, it kills me. Just listen to me. If it can work for a person with ADHD, it can work for anybody. I feel like I got sensory issues.
And this background's real calming.
Yeah, don't you feel relaxed like you're watching a lo-fi video? Can someone make a lo-fi? I want. You know, sometimes people make like lo-fi playlists on YouTube or whatever, and then it's like some really relaxing music. Then they throw in some like quotes from like the show, like some voice clips. I want that bit of us.
Oh, I love it.
Imagine.
I love
That'd be so good. That's what I want.
I'm waiting for a fan cam.
Don't.
Yeah, don't
here. If you think they won't make a fucking fan cam.
I love how.
Oh, but they should make an Elliot Reed fan cam though.
100%. 100%.
So Hayden, aka the Elliot Reed Stan account, which I love.
Love it.
Asks, how's the One Piece going?
You know, I stepped away from it for a little bit because I realized this is so big and I need to read it by our next show.
I will read the One Piece the week of the One Piece, or that weekend, because that's how I do.
I would if I could, but I can't. So I'm just trying my best.
I got anime to watch, you know. I'll probably do it on Fridays when I'm at work. I have a big lady job promotion and like a real title, and I still read comic books at work.
Love it. Love it. That's how
I hide this behind me with like a tapestry over it. My boss was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's nothing." You know, I just use the background for like, that's for YouTube, so I cover it's not really work appropriate. But she had asked me. I was like, good.
That's funny.
On the subject of webtoons, I have been enjoying Assassination Roommate, Shotgun Boy, The Croaking and Urban Animal. Both of you might enjoy The Croaking and Assassin Roommate. I need to read more webtoons.
I do
thank you for the recommendations, James.
Yeah, James, I'm going to write those down.
Because I've only ever read, this, obviously. My friend makes a comic called Robin and Cat. So I read that. And then Lore Olympus, like everybody else on the internet. But there's so many good ones now. Well, I don't think about it. Like, other people have webtoons out open all the time. But the problem is I'm really bad reading things that are like currently coming out. Mm-hmm. Because I catch up on manga all the time, but I catch up and then I don't touch again for a year. Because I just don't. I can keep up with shows, but keeping up with like a manga that's released is really hard.
I'm with you. Or I get distracted by something, like now I'm in One Piece and I'm like, if I break away from this, I probably won't go back. So I need to stick with it, you know? Because it's like we started Spy Family, which I loved, but I'm like, I can't anymore. I'm doing One Piece.
I can't go back to that.
You can't do that. I ain't got time.
And I can't read another shonen manga while I'm reading a shonen manga.
Yeah, I get it.
I can't. And so with One Piece especially, I'm like, well, when I'm reading that week, it can only be One Piece that I'm reading. Mm-hmm. It's weird. There's so many rules I think I have. Like, also, I can't, if I'm watching the anime, I can't go read the manga because I'll never go back to the anime because I don't want to rewatch what I've already read.
I get you there.
Like, Jujutsu Kaisen is so good, and I'm sure the manga is incredible, but the anime is so good that I don't want to ruin it. Carly says, Witch Creek Road is an amazing horror webtoon. Which Kickstarter to print it. I love spooky books.
I'm writing that down too. Me too. Yeah, give us all your recs, because I want them all.
Please. Who says I'm not making a fan cam as we speak?
Whatever have I done?
Kristen's like, oh no.
Why would you do that?
I hope some really cool babe that doesn't make a fan cam of me. Oh gosh. That's what people talk on TikTok.
If it doesn't have the moment where we were both losing our minds because Hayden told us about the Spice Girls movie.
The beginning of our friendship with Hayden.
Which, P.S., where is it? Like, I need it in my life. Where is it?
Listen, I don't believe anything ever is coming out. So, you know.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Oh, man. So we're definitely going to tweet at Blue after this, right?
Oh,
They need to
yeah.
know.
We have to.
Blue, I need to buy all of your things. What do
Although
I gotta do?
I feel embarrassed about whatever I probably got wrong in that in my telling of the book. But my point is, I loved it. I love it so much.
I love
I'm going
it.
to reread it many times.
Same.
And I usually don't feel that way, right? Even if I love a book, I'm like, no, I'm not touching that for a while. I want to reread this like right now.
I do too.
It's so good.
Daughter's interested in a Junji Ito book. What should she pick up first? Uzumaki. How old's your daughter, Joe? Because I know she's been reading stuff. Like Wonder Woman. I mean, Uzumaki. That's it. You know?
I know. I'm like looking at definitely Uzumaki.
Tomie's good.
Yeah.
And Tomie, plus if she likes Tomie, there is so much merch she can wear from Tomie. Every Hot Topic.
Go to any Hot Topic, yep.
You can get
her on anything now.
Yeah.
Water bottles.
They have that shit everywhere now. 20. Oh, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, all of them. But definitely Uzumaki and then Tomie.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. In any of the short story collections, because that's a great, like, you figure out what you like from him too, Mm-hmm. They're all just, it's so fun. The answer is all of them, but Uzumaki, yeah, start there for sure.
Yeah, that'll get you hooked.
Yeah.
I'm still not over Uzumaki,
I'm not either. And it took me forever to read it, and now I'm like, yeah, I should have read that first.
It's the best one.
Because it would have got me in, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first one I've read, and it's still the best one. And I stand by that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, sometimes there's some not as good ones. But they're still great. And that short story about the holes in the mountain.
Oh, yes.
That one, and then
the fault one, yeah.
Every once in a while, I think about the chair one because it creeps me out still.
Yes, the chair one, which I think both of those are in Venus in the Blind Spot.
Yeah.
So get that one too.
Man, I cannot look at an armchair without thinking that there might be a human being inside of it.
Yes. Those are the two that stick out for me too. Like those are two of the absolute best.
Oh, it's so good.
Or the one in, I think it's Shiver with the balloon head people.
Yeah.
Which was just ridiculous, but in the best way. It's so good.
What are you going to do? I don't know.
As long as you just don't get her no longer human. Just don't do that.
Carly asked, what do you think of a dissolving classroom? I've heard mixed things. Is that the Ito one? I always get that confused with the other something classroom.
The drifting classroom, yeah. Dissolving is Ito. It's the little train.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
It's pretty gross.
It's very gross.
But I liked it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also liked it. I thought it was gross.
Yeah, I feel like if I would have rated it high had I had good reads on.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat one's great. Everyone should read the cat one.
Which the cat one's getting a special edition hardcover this year. I'm so excited. So excited.
Kristan.
Yes.
So you know that book you've been reading with like the poodle looking dog and the cat?
Yes. With a dog and a cat every day is fun.
Yes.
Yes.
So Ellie and I watched 3 episodes of the anime because each episode's only like a minute.
Mm.
Oh my god. It's so
I have
good.
to. I have
so
to.
Funny.
What's it on? Is it on?
It's on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll, okay.
And you can watch them there even like free for ads and stuff. But the delivery of the lines are so good because the puppy has this cute voice and the cat has this like low menacing male voice. And
I love it.
So and the words that come through almost like as a poem on the screen. And then they'll show the actual picture of the cat like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is in the book. Do they have is there a story about this like taxi driver and his cat in the book?
Yeah, I think, yes. I think actually the last volume I read, I feel like it was in there maybe.
That's episode 3 because she's taking the cat to like the vet.
Yeah, I feel like I just read that one.
And the taxi guy is like, yeah, like, because she's apologizing for a cat. He's like, it's fine. I had a cat for like 23 years. And, like, he was a bitch, basically. But I loved him. And I haven't got a cat since. And then he talks about how she thinks that, like, maybe the reason he hasn't got a cat, because he says, like, the cat was really selfish, is because the cat is still there as a ghost who's like, he won't let him get another cat. He's, like, always hanging out with them. And I was pissed because I was like, we'll have another. Let's watch one more before I have to go do something. Because I'm like, oh, it'll be another like lighthearted one, and I cried so hard because you see this little old man driving his ghost cat, his little ghost cat on his shoulder, like little heaven, little angel cat, just like.
Oh,
pissed. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was great. I'm sure it would be even more impactful to see it though. I'm gonna have to watch that for sure.
You got to. It is so fucking funny. Oh my gosh, just the delivery of everything. It's just gets like the dog to do cute things and just the cat being like, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, so good.
Love it.
Ugh. Well, what else is going on? We talked about the books and stuff.
We do need to mention that InStockTrades.com on Tuesday is going to have Wicked Games trade paperback, first volume, which is by John Allison, who did Giant Days. This is a somewhat Giant Days spinoff. There's a character that, if you've read Giant Days, you'll know who leads it. And that's going to be our pick of the month, which is going to be like, I think 45% off, pretty sure.
Something like that.
So get that.
Do you see my dog?
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening.
You know what I'm doing. Hi,
doing yoga back there.
Oh,
that's just a downward dog. Makes sense.
She's such a sweetheart. I would show you, but then I have to. Oh my gosh, so cute. She's just looking up at me. Oh no, you just see. You can't see her. She's just
cute.
You're too dark.
Her cute ears were showing though.
She's so cute. You're gonna love her.
Horrible.
She just likes to cuddle.
Oh,
baby.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to say. I feel like we talked a lot. I'm like, okay, well, what happens now? I haven't read anything else.
Really, the moral of the episode is you need to go read this right now. Webcomic.com or blindly buy the trades. I recommend it.
So we'll be back next Sunday. Oh, we have a question. I don't know the answer to it. Do any of you know if Criminal Volume 3 is getting a reprint, or should I buy the original printing? I want to make sure the mapping's accurate.
Pretty positive they're reprinting it with a different cover. And people have been like, where is it at? Where is it out? Is it out yet? And I don't think it's hit. It's definitely not hit IST yet. And I don't know if there's a date for that. That's what I can tell you. Pretty positive that's a yes reprint. Don't know when it's happening.
James says, My Ducks Game Changer Season 1 is only 10 episodes. After the season over, can we get a Fangirlz Assemble Game Changers? If she can catch up, I will talk about it forever. I want Reed and Elliot here.
Oh, that would be so good. Because Reed is just obsessed.
Oh my God. Every episode, I'm just like, Elliot, can we get matching Mighty Ducks jerseys, please? Because I'm just like so fixated on it.
Reed would wear his around like forever. Like when he was back in a band, like he would wear it on stage all the time. And I'm like, you nerd.
I get it.
He has a hat. I mean, it's a lot.
I'm dying for you to watch it. So you can watch it and be like, with us, because every episode I'm just like, what happened to you, Gordon Bombay? What happened? Even though it's like every My Ducks movie ever, but I'm just like, what happened to you? Who hurt you?
And then there's Lauren Graham.
Being Lauren Graham.
Come on.
Just being Lauren Graham.
Being a great mom, always. she's mom, everyone's great quirky. Mom. Yeah. It's the best. Best typecast for her, truly.
I only ever wanted her to be that thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And she did
the best.
And I hope that her and Gordon Bombay get together, because why else? What else I need?
I mean, if anyone's looking for a good book, a good audiobook specifically, her book, her nonfiction book, that is, was so good.
It's like a memoir?
Yeah, and if you're a Gilmore Girls fan, it's especially great, because obviously she talks about that. I believe it's called Talking as Fast as You Can, or something like that.
Oh my God.
Oh, and the audio, she reads the audiobook. Oh, it was so great. I think you're looking it up too, but I'm looking up the title. Yeah, Talking as Fast as I Can, from Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls, because, the next one came out.
Well,
I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, girl. It was great.
I'm going to do another Audible trial like I do every
Do
year.
it. Yeah, I hear
I
that.
do her
I've
Audible
done it.
trial. I listen
done
to
it.
stuff. She's got like 3 books out.
Yeah, she's got some fiction too, which I
I
forget if I ever read. I know I have one of her fiction books, but I don't remember if I've read it.
Well,
Because of
girl,
course.
I love her, and I bet she's cool in person too.
She
Some people
seems like
you hear about later, and you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
I heard Anna Kendrick. I only say that because I see a recommendation with her book, or she's a bitch.
I believe that. But
I heard
if
she's
anyone
like
said that about Lauren Graham, I'd be like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, no,
I don't think
Excuse
that's
me?
true.
This
You're
delightful
wrong.
woman, there's no way. She would never. Well, great. That's good.
Yeah, so check that out.
Our friends here, thank you for hanging out, listening to us talk about this book. Please all read it. And if you do read it,
Yes.
again, it won't take you long. It's free. Just read it online. Come back and comment below, like what you thought about it, so we can talk about it.
We would love it so much.
Please, it's
Love
so good. I wonder if Blue would hang out with us. Like, hey, Blue, we don't interview people, but do you just want to hang out?
We don't, but we would talk about books on a whole episode where we would just all talk about like great books. Oh, I would love that. Love it. Now we have to.
Yeah. So we'll be back next Sunday with Batgirl by Gail Simone. So that'll be cool to talk about.
You can get this on InStockTrades.com right now. Our great sponsor. Check them out. You get it for a great price. That's why I bought it. I was like, oh, this price. So good. I have to.
And then the week after, we'll be talking about One Piece.
That's right.
Specifically the Sabaody Archipelago, and then the Lily Island or whatever, and then the prison. I forgot the names of.
I'm like, what do these things even mean? Yeah, up to chapter 549 is what I wrote down. So
yeah, I have a graphic ready for like the monthly schedule, and I just haven't posted it. But it says exactly the chapters on there.
Oh, that's good for anyone reading along. I also
made a graphic for today's show, and I didn't post it. I was busy taking a nap.
Sometimes you gotta. I get it.
And playing Super Mario 3D World, and then reading this and crying about it.
Again, it was just that ending.
Oh, God,
I wish we could say words about it. I wish we could.
Everyone, we're gonna end the show, and you need to just go read it now.
Please go read it. Enjoy yourself. Live your greatest comic life and read this amazing comic.
And you're not gonna have your greatest comic life without this book.
You're really not.
You're not. And as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go on Goodreads and just vomit words of praise about this book.
I just 5-starred all those. It was like, here we go. Yep.
So good.
Amazing.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Stay safe. Hope you're getting your vaccines. See you.
Thanks for being here.